And one. We are so excited to be back here with you today. Hello, everybody. This is your girl, Sherelle Brown, host of Lifting the Weight Online Summit. It is my distinct pleasure to bring you into day 3 of Lifting the Weight. Oh my goodness, the past 3 days have been phenomenal. And today I am in high expectation and anticipation for the ladies that are about to grace this platform today. I have a phenomenal woman sitting on the other side of the screen from me. She is none other than Miss Shonda S. Caines. Listen here. My girl got some island flavor. So today you're going to get it, and you're going to double get some of it today. She's going to be sharing with you her own personal story, her own personal journey of how she lost the weight and the weight that she carried and how it was lifted. Remember, lifting the weight is not just about the physical weight. It's about the mental, the emotional, the psychological hindrance that have been holding you bound. We know who the sun set free is truly free indeed. So today, if you have not been transformed, I'm expecting the complete, total transformation to be done by the end of this session. And don't forget, we have Meet the Speakers, a bonus day where they have set aside the time to sit down and interact with you. So you don't want to miss a single beat. And so I am going to let Ms. Shonda tell you a little bit about herself, her journey, and her experience. And at the end of it, she'll be sharing tangible, actionable tips that you can apply to your everyday life for you to be able to see and experience change now as you journey to the total freedom. Ms. Shonda, are you there?
Yes, I am. Hi, Shonda. How are you?
I am good. So happy to have you here with us today. Now, one of the first things I want to bring to our listening audience attention is, I remember you said something about celebrating 10 years of what? Tell the people a little bit more about Shonda, because I told them we have expert speakers in the house. I want you to tell them a little bit about your professional background, and then we're going to dive into your personal background. Because one thing I like about the speakers that we had on this platform today, these are not just qualified, certified people talking. These people who walk the walk and can talk the talk. Because many times we sit on the other side and say, man, that speaker on the stage ain't been in my shoe. The devil is a liar. These speakers haven't. So you tell them about you, Ms. Shonda.
Well, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into our summit. We are so excited that you took time out of your schedule to be with us. As Sherelle Brown stated, it's about lifting the weight, not only physically, it's emotionally, psychologically, mentally, and in any other capacity possible. Yeah. She stated, my name is Shonda S. Caines, born and raised in the United States Virgin Islands on the beautiful island of St. Thomas. Left there at the age of 18, and came here to Charlotte, North Carolina, did my studies here, and I stayed. I did my graduate studies here, and I've been a Charlottean ever since. And when it comes to lifting the weight, wow, that is deep. Well, I thank you so much for the connection. I
want to put a pin right there for a second, Shonda. Let them know the areas that you would have been certified in for me, please. I told them you're a running coach. I told them you're a wellness catalyst. I need them to know who you are and what you have done thus far. Listen, this is a 50-mile run. Listen, just let them know some of the experiences you would have already encountered for me, please.
Sure. So as Sherelle stated, my undergraduate degree is in political science, and my master's is in public administration. After I lost my 90 pounds, I realized that I found my purpose in my pain. I realized that wellness is where I needed to be. So I eventually birded 2 companies that I'll tell you about in a moment. But so my first degrees were in political science. I thought about becoming the first female governor of the United States Virgin Islands. I thought about becoming a judge. That's where I was headed. But you know what? When you have a plan and God has a plan and they don't align, sometimes, if you listen with a discerning ear, you will have to shift, Sherelle. It's not always easy, but that's what I did. So I shifted on over to wellness and giving out information. I realized that this indeed was my purpose and my passion. So I decided, outside of studying and reading and all these paired journals that you could think of, I decided to become certified. So first up, I became a certified personal trainer, and I just enjoyed it. I enjoyed helping people help themselves exceed above and beyond their expectations of themselves.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I picked up running. I was fascinated with it, just being able to be free. I am a deep thinker by thought, so I decided to become a certified run coach. I wanted to learn more about wellness and weight loss, more so for myself, but also eventually to help each other, to help others. So I became a weight loss specialist, as well as a fitness nutrition specialist through the National Academy of Sports Medicine. So for me, Sherelle and audience, thank you so much for tuning in again. I wanted to learn more about the path that God was putting me on. So what did I do? I read. That's what we have to do. We have to educate ourselves. And then I decided to take it a step further and study and sit exams. So for me now, I am a wellness catalyst. I am a fitness chef. Yeah. I have been chefing all my life. Both my parents cook professionally, and my youngest sister is doing the same thing as well. So I guess it was only by God's divine purpose that I ended up doing it now. I am a speaker. I help individuals just transform their lives in an authentic way. And moving forward, I will be an author as soon as possible. That's something that Sherelle will talk about later on. So those are the areas that I'm doing. So when it comes to wellness, for me, it's on a holistic path. For me, Sherelle, you know, it's about the diet, and it's about exercise, and it's saying no when you need to. It's taking a rest. It's knowing when to push yourself. It's about whole foods. I'm also a vegan endurance athlete. I actually run, swim, bike, jump, climb, anything you can think of on whole foods, aka plants. So that is something that I enjoy doing, and debunking the myth that you need all this extra pills and supplements and all this stuff above and beyond what God has around us to be able to thrive. So that's where I'm at now. So for me,
I want to put a pin. I want to put a pin right there, Shonda. I want to put a pin right there. You're giving us some good stuff. There are two things that you highlighted that I want. I don't want the people to I don't want them to get lost in all of the content. That one, she lost 90 pounds in her health and wellness journey, and two, she is a vegan. And so this is the way of a life for Shonda. This is not a 21-day something she's trying. This is something that she has lived and is still living. And so now I want you to share with them, how did you lose your 90 pounds? Or share with them the weight that you would have carried during that process. Because remember now, you carried the physical weight, but like I said to our listening audience, either between day 1 or day 2, I personally believe that our physical weight is just a manifestation of some mental, spiritual, and emotional things that are going on. And so share with them your story for me, please.
Sure. So for me, I realized at the age of about 24, everything that I had attempted, I was successful at outside of losing weight. I came here from the U.S. They had a lot of statistics about women of color, about, coming to school and dropping out, having children, etc. And I said, I don't want to be a part of that. Check. I graduated. I didn't fall into that category. I wanted to become a homeowner before the age of 25. Check. I was able to do that. I wanted to go back to school, grad school, and finish in an accelerated program because I like to get stuff done. Like my mom said, do it right, get it done, move on. Check. I was able to do that. But what I realized was, when it came to weight loss, I struggled. I struggled from a child, just not being able to be overweight and not having that self-confidence. I didn't want to do sleepovers. I didn't do any sports in school. I graduated high school, the most active student, anything that you could think of as far as academics, that's what I did. Yeah. So when I came to college and dealing with that, I realized, you know what? A lot of my friends saw me as stable, meaning I graduated, I got an apartment from there, I had a house, and I stayed there. I settled. I had a lot of friends moving in and out of the city, in and out of the state. They're changing their phone numbers, etc. That wasn't your girl that you're looking at. But at the end of the day, I felt like there was still a part of me that was hungry, that wanted more. And I realized when I went to grad school, I said, you know what? You have to take this more seriously. You need to be able to look back on your past and decide that you need to lift the weight. And taking it back to the year of 2004, my sister came into town and we had a conversation, and we realized that we experienced some stuff in our life that neither of us knew about. And I'm 4 years older than her. So by me being able to put pen to paper and write letters and send them home to the Caribbean to several different individuals to let them know how my childhood was affected adversely by whom and what it has done to me as an adult, I was able to lift the weight. And then from there, I felt confident. I felt better. And from there, I was able to pursue the idea of home ownership. Once I got that, I decided to get into school. So audience, once I was able to lift that weight from me, it allowed me to be successful and have confidence in other areas, such as deciding that I can indeed pursue a graduate advanced degree as well as continue a full-time job. I can actually go ahead and get this house that I've been looking at, that I started, that I stopped. So for me, that's where it was, Sherelle, deciding on how do I lift this weight, having somebody in my corner. So I would say one of my sisters, she was my influencer. She was my strength, even though she's 4 years under me. So she was my strength. And from there, ladies, once you lift that weight, however you choose to do it, you will see that it will actually have a positive effect in other parts of your life. And for me, by me losing that weight, I became so confident. I realized anything that I attempted to do after that, I told myself, if you were able to lose 90 pounds in 11 months, you can do any.
Put a pin in that. Put a pin in that. Listen, don't run through the good stuff. You just said you lost 90 pounds in 11 months. She did this in under a year, almost 100 pounds, ladies and gents. Listen, slow it down, back it up. Tell them, how did you do it? Did the lifestyle change happen during this 90? Were you always a vegan? Did you like meat? Are you like us who could eat a greasy piece of chicken and think, no, wait a minute? Tell the people, listen, we getting down and dirty today. No, don't give me the surface stuff. I want the good, juicy details.
So I am here to give you the good stuff. Really good stuff. You're going to have to read the book for it, my chapter. But
Oh yeah. I love it. Oh, Shonda, I love it. Listen, ladies, that's what I'm talking about. Yes, she is releasing it all. So today you get a little, today you get a tidbit. But she's saying all the good stuff.
My dishes, you want a sample, you get about this much in a small little cup, and then you start to buy it. Okay?
Yes.
For me, when I was in, like I was saying, when I was in grad school, I decided about after the first quarter, I said, realistically, it is impossible. I said, I'm a new homeowner. I'm single, no kids. So I'm learning how to deal with a house here in the United States by myself. On top of that, I had a very stressful job. I started grad school and decided on an accelerated program. And then I still need to work on myself. So I told myself, okay, let's be real. This working from 8:30 to 5 and going to school from 6 to 10, according to Miss Sweet Brown, ain't nobody got time for this. When school finished, Sherelle, ain't that the truth? When school finished at 3 o'clock, I am trying to get home safely without catching a ticket.
Yeah.
Take a shower, eat something if I need it. And I need to be in between that mattress and that box spring, ladies, as quickly as possible. So you know what?
Time.
I came up with a contract for myself.
Yeah.
I told myself that what I'm going to do is I'll work on my food while I'm in school. And the minute I finished the last class of my graduate school, I still remember it was on a Tuesday, around September 11, 2006. I said, as soon as you finish with your last class, you will begin to incorporate the fitness, the physical part of it. So for me, Cheryl, going back to just being a nerd, let's just say, I was sitting here and read textbooks about wellness and stuff all day, not do what I'm supposed to do, but I was sitting and reading. So I realized that in a second life, that's what I did. So I worked on it. So for me, I told myself, I'm not going to cut rice out, but I'm not going to cook it. But if I go out, I'll buy it. But the catch to that was I didn't eat out much. But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I didn't cut it out. And at that time, I was not vegan. I went vegan in 2009, and I lost my weight from '06 to '07. So for me, I guess I'll say I was a pescatarian because I did eat fish sometimes. So for me, I took my food everywhere. I took it to work, and I made sure once work was over, I got to school in enough time to have dinner, I would say, just before class started at 6. And on our break, I made sure I had a snack because, ladies, you have to fuel your brain. If you're up working on your goals and everything, like Sherelle and the rest of us that are authors and entrepreneurs, and even if you're a mom, whatever you're working on, you have to fuel your brain, and you have to be intentional. You have to be prepared. You have to have food around you that you can eat that will fuel you. So I made sure, one, I always had my food with me. 2, I learned about reading labels. I actually realized, ladies, you know what? On average, 1 slice of bread is a serving. And so for me, think about it. Being a vegetarian, I would have 2 slices of bread, a veggie burger, and this is in college. I said, oh, this is why you couldn't lose any weight. I said, yeah, 2 slices of bread, a veggie burger, a slice of cheese, mayo, and ketchup. So when I went back and tracked my college days when I was working out and started to figure out why I was struggling, I said, you were already at 700 calories on a sandwich. Now, we all know 2 slices of bread with nothing in it can fuel you. And then on top of that, sometimes I would have 2 of them. So what, Sherelle? That's at 1,400 calories. And I still ate throughout the day. So one, I cook more often. I cooked all the time. I still do. I pack my food. I read labels. I found websites online that were trusted. And I did my research. I hydrated more. And I learned how to eat more vegetables. But my biggest thing was where I was to the next level. I didn't go from here to here. I just went a step up. So for me, it's finding, and I would encourage you guys to find just a healthier option. Let's say, for instance, you drink a lot of soda now. You could find sweet tea. And then from there, you could do half and half. And then you could do more herbal teas. It's never going to work. It's never going to work if you're going to go from, okay, I eat out 6 days a week to once a week. What the best thing to do is to probably just limit it. So that's what I did. Okay, from the first quarter of school up until the end of school. So I started in January of 2005 and I finished the fall of 2006. And I told myself, Lord have mercy. You made this verbal contract with yourself. You have to start. And you know what, ladies? I always used to tell myself, I'll get on the scale and it didn't move like in the fall into the winter. I'm an islander like Sherelle. I don't like the cold. Let's say that again. I detest the cold weather. Okay. But I had to force myself. And I told myself, I don't like this chin. You know, you go in and you try on clothes and you don't like how it looks on you and you get out the store and you're all depressed. Trust me, I've been there. I've been from 229 pounds down to 130 pounds. I've known how it feels, and you know, you're thriving in other parts of your life and people look at you and they think you have it going on and they just don't realize that you are carrying an invisible facade. Again, you are carrying an invisible, involuntary facade, because some of us are carrying around voluntary facade. But for some of us, it's not. And I sat on the sofa a lot, Sherelle, and I daydream about losing weight. But there's something that I put in a book. Daydreaming, do not burn calories. That's one thing I put in the book. Let me say that again. Daydreaming about being healthier or fitter or lighter, do not burn calories. Trust me, I've been there. You don't have to try it. It's like you hear that the stove is hot. Don't touch it. Your sister got burned. Don't even go in the kitchen. So I have been there. So for me, I started walking and I started cardio. I started with the cardio and then I was told that you needed to put in more weight training. And I did that. You know, the scale didn't really move, but I felt better. I slept better. I would come home and I would be knocked out. My job used to stress me out. My coworker would call and say, how was the evening? And I said, girl, I don't even remember what I was stressed about. I went in the gym. Ladies, let me tell you, one of the best ways, the healthiest ways, the least expensive way to relieve stress is doing some type of activity. I don't care if you walk. I don't care if you do a punching bag. Just make sure it's not a human or a dog or animal. You can run, you can squat, you can jump. But a great stress reliever is physical activity, whether you're gardening, whether you're cutting the grass. You know, you just never know. And that's what it was for me. And as soon as my birthday in February came, I was able to get into my size 16 that I struggled to get into for years. You could tell me anything. I was so happy. So there were wins. So all your wins will not be on the scale. The scale is the devil. I still have a love-hate relationship with that daggone scale I got upstairs. It's the devil. You know,
Shonda,
and then
girl.
once the weather broke around this time in 2007, all heaven broke loose. I was outside walking all the time. And the best part, Sherelle, was my job moved up the road from my old apartment that had a luxurious fitness room. So what did you think I did after work?
Utilized, of course.
I went down there and I acted like I was there. When I saw somebody I knew, I put my head down. But I used it. I sure did. Yes, use what you have, ladies. When I started, actually, I worked out in my living room to kneel. Nah. Wait.
Dancing.
Start in the living room. Start in the living room, ladies. Walk, jump. Trust me, we're talking about 11 years ago. Do you know how many apps are out? I had the little Nano.
Yeah.
Do you know how big it is? The Nano is about this big. People clown me about my Nano. I said the Nano has been with me longer than most people I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
I still have it. And you know what? They have all the songs on it that I remember, that's ingrained in my mind. When I was 229, 216, 175, 150.
Yeah.
So
I love it.
Get rid of that. You guys, you don't need the latest gadgets.
No.
That's not burn calories, because I have several watches upstairs. I have all type of stuff upstairs. But if I don't use them, they're useless. The motivation you need at the end of the day, look yourself in the mirror.
Yeah.
I can get motivation from Sherelle all day. But if as soon as I turn off her video or whatever, and I go eat a cookie or I lay on the sofa, here we go back that sofa, it's not doing anything for you. So try to think about what you want to do. And something that I told myself, I didn't play video games, Sherelle, but what I told myself was, I wonder how I would look summer 2007. Again, I wonder what I would look like if I kept going. I said, if you don't keep going, you know how you're going to look? A hot mess. Don't get me wrong. I loved myself. I still do. And when people look at my old pictures, they say, that's one thing about you, Shonda S. Caines. You were a diva back there. I took care of myself. I went to the doctor. I didn't have any ill treatment about myself, but I knew I was too heavy, and I did not have all these medical issues in my family, my bloodline, and I did not want to create them for my lineage. So you got to think about that as well. So that's what I did.
I love it. I love it.
And then from there, once I lost the weight now, you start thinking, Sherelle, I don't know of anybody who have lost weight that much or have kept it off. So now I got nervous, and then I joined the YMCA. Because I was now I'm like, how do you keep it off? This is a lot of weight.
No backsliding. No backsliding. That's what you're thinking. I did it. How do I maintain it? When I tell you, I know what you're talking about.
And Sherelle, the one big thing was you keep doing what you have done. That's just like in a relationship. Keep dating. Keep courting the person. Keep being kind to them. Keep being considerate. It's the same thing. Yeah. I was like, I don't know. I don't want to gain it back. But that's what I did. I kept doing what I was doing, taking care of myself, still exercising. And out of that came the whole certified personal trainer. I started walking more to the point where I felt like I wanted to fly. And that's when I started running. Then I realized, that's when I found out my dad was a track star in the Caribbean. And they wanted to give him credit. I said, nah, son. See, when I was fluffy, he didn't take credit.
Oh, yeah. I love it. Son.
So I ended up running, and I became a runner. And then for my 5th year, I told people, you know what? I want to spend time with God. So I trained for my first half marathon, and I left the United States by myself, and I went to Jamaica, and I did my first half marathon. And people were upset. Why did I know about it? I said, you know what? these last 5 years, God has kept me. I want some personal time with my Lord and Savior. And it was the best thing. It was the best thing for me. So I've gone from running a half marathon, and then I wanted to learn how to swim. So I joined this program to become a triathlete. So for me, ladies, releasing that weight and telling who I needed to what helped me to pursue my master's degree, my home ownership. Then I decided this is the only thing that I've attempted at the age of 25 that I'd failed at. I did the weight loss thing. I was successful with that. Now, how do you keep it off? Then I got into running. I did 5Ks, 10Ks, half marathoner. Then I went into learning, overcoming my fear, because I nearly drowned at the age of 26 at flipping Six Flags, following this little girl going in the water. And I nearly drowned. So then I learned how to swim. And then I became a triathlete. Then I became a mentor for other people behind me, women. When God has blessed us, it's so important for us to reach our hand back and to help the women behind of us. So I actually paid to become a mentor. Can you believe I had to pay $65 to mentor people? And then from there, ladies, an athlete, then I decide, you know what? I'm going to bike 50 miles. I'm going to bike 100 miles. It's just been on and on. So for me, it has unleashed a creative and athletic side of me that I suppressed because I was uncomfortable in my excess. So it goes back to releasing that weight. Now for my 8th year of losing 90 pounds, you know what I did, Cheryl? Oh, I want to see what happens to the body when you run 50 miles. So imagine, ladies, I went from, believe it or not, that's why I ran that 50 mile on November 15, 2015. I said, first I said I would never run more than 2 hours. It's just stupid. Then all of a sudden I told my friends, they said, Shonda, why do you have that big backpack on your back? We know you're going to run far. I said, you know what? I just want to see what happens to the body when you run for 4 hours. They said, aren't you the one 2 years ago that say running over 2 hours is stupid? So ladies, you see what I'm going? You just don't know what is waiting on you once you release that weight. And it don't have to be physical. It could be emotional. It could unleash a side of you that open you up to tutor, to mentor, to love, to forgive. And now I'm running, I'm biking, I'm swimming. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm deciding to do a 50 miler. I did a 50K in the woods. My mom was like, you can't be my child. What is wrong with you? I'm jumping over fires and all of this stuff. Like, you know what it was for me too? Is that part of me as a child that didn't play. So I believe to get into recreational activities. It's that side of me as a child that did not play, or in high school didn't do sports. I get the opportunity it now to do it now. And now I get to help other women meet and exceed their expectations. And most of my clients that I deal with are professional women. And for me, I help them to balance. I have attorneys, I have professors, I have VP at the top banks. And I'm like, you need to rest. You need not take on that new position of your job. You need to tell hubby that you need to sleep in tomorrow. I said, as women, we do too much. I said, I cannot help you lose that excess weight around your stomach if you're stressing. I said, you cannot.
I'm glad that you said that. I'm going to put a pin in it right there, guys. Listen, Shonda is just a top. Listen, she is just flowing. But she said something there, I think it was so profound. She cannot help you lose the weight because you have to find balance. You have to say no to some things. She talked about working with professionals who had to turn down a position or say not yet. She's saying, honey, I have to sleep in this morning. Sleep is important to weight loss. And so I want to continue on that same thread, but I need for you to just give them some tangible, actionable tips. For the woman who's sitting on the other end of the screen, I'm hearing all that you have done. But in a nutshell, how can I do the same? How do I get from the couch to running 50 miles? How does this now translate or correlate to my present state so I can now see and experience change now? You go, girl.
Absolutely. Thank you. So, ladies, one thing I want you to do is go out and purchase you a wellness journal. I want you to get a wellness journal. I want you to get a book, a wellness journal. You can get it from the Dollar Tree for $1 plus tax. It might be 106. You can get it from Family Dollar, get it Walmart, Target, wherever. I want you to get a book. And in the inside of it, I want you to put the date. Right here, mine says, it says right here, 3/25/2016, I declare to focus. Then 3/26/16, no small idleness. Yeah. Meaning I have no time to idle. So what was happening in March of last year, this time, actually, because it's right about a year, I was not focused. I was not focused. This is actually an intentional planner that I found at Target, which is different. So it has a spot that I could put every day, I declare. And then on the side, I'm able to write down stuff, as you can see right here. So what I would put is DN, which means did not achieve, or I would put a check mark. So for this right here, it's talking about everything that I needed to do. And then on the side, you have to be real. So number one, meet yourself where you are. Be compassionate. That's number two. Have gratitude for the body, the mind, the spirit, and the soul that you have. Trust me, somebody did not wake up this morning. Yeah. It is hard. Carrying around that excess, taking that medication, doing the insulin, all of that. But you know what? If God wake you up one more time, there is hope. But we have to do the work. That's just like if I need a job. I can't sit on every day saying, Lord, I need a job. Lord, I need a job. But I'm not applying online. I'm not stopping into the different stores. I'm not telling people that are employed, if your employer are looking for somebody that fit my needs, send over my resume. So you have to decide, one, I need to take ownership of this temple that God has temporarily given to me. Get you a journal. Yeah. You have to see where you are. You need something else that I suggest you do is declutter, detox your kitchen. People actually pay me to come in and detox. And I love doing it. And any excess, we donate it to a pantry. So if you are fed up, and this is something I talk about in my chapter in the book, when you are fed up, your actions will follow. Period. You cannot be tired of being broke if every time you get a penny, you spend $1. So let your actions show. And again, also, ladies, you don't need to, and I discourage you just blasting on social media that tomorrow I'm going to start a weight loss program. Don't even do that. Most of the people, Sherelle, did not even know I was losing weight. You know why? No. It was my thing. You know what I told myself? You ate yourself fat because a lot of it was intentional. I mean, like not intentional, conscious. You can get it off by yourself. Yeah. It's not about sabotaging yourself. I love myself. I still do. But I told myself, I don't need Jim, Jack, Johnny coming with me to the gym. And that's what you have to realize. I tell people all the time, if you're not a twin or a triplet, you came into this world by yourself. And when you leave, you're going to end up in a urine by yourself, or you're going to end up in a box by yourself. This is the island coming out right now. Detox your kitchen. Decide that this is where I am, effective this day. Make yourself a contract. I did mine verbally. I didn't have to write it down. Write down a contract. Where do you see yourself in 5 days, in 10 days? Find you an accountability partner. And you need to ask yourself, what is weighing you down? So some thought-provoking questions that are that's in the chapter. I didn't even plan, ladies, to put that in there. And I told my friend, this is too much. And when I read it to her, she said, Sissy, those are some deep questions. She said, there are some provoking questions. She said, but having lost 65 pounds, she said, I wish I had those questions when I started. It's like, what are weighing you down? Are you afraid of food? What is your excess? What are your stress and your stressors? What do you need to release? Do you love yourself? Are you proud of this precious body that God has given you? Look at your stress and stressors. What can you do? What this is sounding like to me?
I often tell people, you talked about early on in this interview about the relationship with the scale. Now, I've had my own personal experience with the scale where I said this thing lies, and I even put my scale out of the room, threw it out of the house. Like, you know what? I'm quite content just loving the way that I'm feeling, and I see the difference in my clothing. I said, so I know change is happening in my body. But for the person now who's not to that point, my thing that I tell people is the scale, you can look at the scale as a mirror. It is supposed to, when it's working right, it is supposed to show you the reflection of yourself. And so when you get on the scale, that is the message behind the creators of it. The numbers on the scale is merely an indicator of where you are of mass in your body. However, some persons are not even to that point as yet that they can even get to a scale. And so Shonda is going down a list of things that you need to check off in your own personal mind. Because if you go through this list, it's going to show you your true reflection, your true identity. And that's what it sounds like to me. And so when you ask yourself these questions, you're peeling away the mask. You're getting to know you even better. If I use myself, you're getting to know Sherelle even better. You're getting to know Shonda even better. Society and life has taught us to not get to know ourselves. We want to be Beyonce. And so we watch Beyonce so much. We're moving, we're dancing, we're talking like her. And you absolutely have no contact with who the real you is. But these questions causes you to go beneath the surface, to take the mask off, and for you to find your true identity. Guys, it's about lifting the weight. It is about the journey to total freedom. That's what we are talking about. You don't have to spend the next 20 years of your life trying to lose the same 50 pounds. No, we're doing it now. We're getting rid of the mental weight. We're giving you the tangible, actionable steps for you to get rid of the physical weight. And I assure you that if you take the action, see, that's what Shonda was talking about. There's nothing wrong with daydreaming. There's nothing wrong with visualization, but it will not all happen in ideation process. You've got to take it from ideation, from visualization, so that it can be complete manifestation. And it can only happen when you apply the tangible actions needed to see it come to pass. Glory to God. Listen, I feel a shout here today. Guys, when I tell you, you just got a power pack session. Son, I'm gonna let you, because I'm sure our time is gone. I'm gonna let you say your final words, your final thoughts to the person, because guess what, guys? This is not the end. This is just the beginning. And so she was talking about a book, guys. For those of you who missed it, we are getting ready to release Lifting the Weight. Oh my God, it is a collaboration between these very same experts, and Miss Shonda herself is one of the co-authors in the book. And so we are barely scraping the surface, and she's giving you a little tidbit of what is going to be in it. So when I tell you guys that I am excited, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, guys, this section was just so good. Shonda, listen, for those of you who want more of Shonda and all of Shonda, don't forget to catch us on Friday, where you can meet the speakers. And of course, she is one of the co-authors of Lifting the Weight, The Journey to Total Freedom. You've got to get yourself a copy of that book. Shonda, in your final moments, what do you have to say to the people?
So ladies, there's 5 things that I want you to be cautious of. I want you to be cautious of your sleep, your sugar, your sodium, your strength training. Yes.
So ladies, what we saying?
Yes, so ladies, I definitely want you to check some things off today. Look at your sleep.
Say it again for me. What are the 5 things? Go ahead. Yeah.
I want them to check off their sleep. Check your sleep. Your sodium, your sugar, stress, and strength training. You have to start strength training. Those are 5 areas. And of course, your water intake. Ladies, it is going to be just a great spring. It's going to be an awesome 2017. You have to feel it deep down in your belly. You have to want it. You have to own it. And we're here to help you help yourselves and those behind them. And absolutely, if you want to connect with me, Shonda S. Caines, weight loss catalyst, fitness chef, and speaker, you can find me on Instagram, Shonda_Caines. My name is on there for you to spell it. And also you can find me on Facebook. My business page is facebook.com, and then you can put in Shonda S. Caines. It'll definitely come up. I definitely want you guys to stay connected with us. Whatever questions you have, you're going to have the ability to think about it today. And on Friday, we're going to be there for you. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I believe is the time. Go ahead and print out the book. If you think this is something It is so deep. I went over my chapter time, and I have to end it. So stick with us. Thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions, make sure you write it down. All questions are there for us to help you help yourself. Back over to Sherelle.
Yes. Yes, I love it. I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. That brings us to the end of this lively and provocative session right here on day 3 of Lifting the Weight Online Summit. Guys, we are wrapping this up, but guess what? Like she said, don't forget to tune in on Friday. It's going to get even hotter. Can you imagine all of these professionals in one place sharing insights based on their personal knowledge and experience? Guys, you don't want to miss it. If you are truly looking for change, if you're not saying it and you're interested in doing it, then this is the platform created just for you. Thank you for joining us, and we're looking forward to seeing you live and direct Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. Oh my goodness, getting tongue-tied. Eastern Standard Time. You guys have a blessed and awesome evening. Thank you for being with us, Shonda. Bye-bye, everybody.